yung book. This is number 93. Tapos, okay. And then, yeah, saan yung magnitude? So, 63. So, 63 kilometers. The direction is okay. And then, average velocity for the first two segments. Yeah, patingin ng ano. Nasaan yung average velocity? So dito sa calculation included pati yung rest period. Diba? So paano yung calculation ng average velocity? Ganito, define natin yung time average para lang malinaw. So paano ba, ano ba yung definition ng time average of anything? Sige, pakita ko na yung definition. Teka, share ko na yung screen ko. Para lang klaro yung ano, yung definition. So ano to eh? This will actually work for anything na time average. So for example, meron kang function of time. Yung eto, sometimes people use yung brackets na yan to denote the time average. Of the function f of t over the time interval. So kailangan naka-define ko ano yung time interval. So for example, yung time interval ay from t equals t sub a to t equals t sub b. Or hindi, ganito lang. T0, initial at saka final. So the average over the time interval t0 to t sub f is going to be defined this way. Integral siya from t0 to tf of f of t dt. Ngayon, bakit yan yung divided by 1 over, so t final minus t0. Okay, ngayon, bakit yan yung definition? So, let's say may graph tayo. Tapos, ito yung function. Ito yung t0. Ito yung tf. So, ito yung interval over kung saan gagawin natin yung average. So, for each small time interval, may associated na value yan. Yung function na f of t. So, ngayon, ano yung probability na nasa time interval na nandito yan? So the probability is, so ang assumption equal probability. So the probability is going to be dt over t final minus t0. Ngayon, probability times yung function, and then we integrate over the time interval of interest. So ang assumption dito, equiprobable with yung yung assignment dun sa bawat time, equal probability yung ina-assign sa bawat time interval. And so probability times yung function and then you sum over all possible values. Yan yung definition niyan. This is going to be f of t. Ngayon, apply natin yan sa average velocity. Ano ba yung velocity? So, yung velocity is dr dt. Tapos, let's say nag-integrate tayo from 0 to t. So, yung change in time, yung time interval is going to be over t. So, pag kinuha natin yung average, or pag integrate natin ito, di ba, this is a derivative. So, this is just going to be yung total time interval, tapos yung r at the final time minus yung r at the initial time. So, ito, this is going to be displacement or total displacement. Tapos ito yung time period. So, pag sinabing ano yung average, naka-specify ano yung time period of interest, tapos ano yung displacement. So that's average displacement. What about average distance? So, average speed. So, yung average speed is going to be like this. 1 over t, 0 to t, and then yung speed is a function of time. In general, this is harder to compute. Kasi hindi na siya simpleng derivative of anything. It's actually going to be 0 to t v sub x square plus v sub y square plus kung may z component, ito, and then dt divided by the time period. Pero it's the same pattern. The definition is always you integrate over the whole time period. Yung dr dt, that's just the velocity. Yung speed, yan yung definition. So, it's going to be this. Ngayon, it just turns out na ito, may interpretation din. This is the distance traveled. So, assuming na may tape measure tayo, alam mo yung mga odometers? Di ba, minimeasure nun kung gaano kalayo yung tinravel ng car. Even though bumalik ka sa starting point, so total displacement is 0, your odometer will tell you, ito yung distance na tinravel ng kotse from start, which is your house, and then back to your house again. Okay na? So, using that definition, pakituloy yung letter C. So, let me... hindi ako share yung screen. Okay, ayan na. So, So 0.70 kilometers per hour. Tapos may direction yan. And average velocity is a vector. Diba? So, yung binigay mo dyan sa letter C, magnitude pa lang yan. Express mo yung average velocity in unit vector notation. Ano yun? So divided by 90 hours. Ayan. So yan yung ano, yan yung vector, yung average velocity. Ngayon, yung sagot mo sa letter C, tingnan mo, lagyan mo ng absolute value bars yung V average na vector. Kasi hindi, yung isa vector, yung isa scalar. So yan yung magnitude. Yung velocity, yung average velocity vector, yung nandyan, yung 60 minus 20 over 90. Yung direction, ano naman? Okay, so same direction as the displacement. So, ngayon, so meron tayong letter C. At saka may, di ba, may C at saka D na tayo. So, paano naman yung F and G?
No. Sir, natidinig niyo po kami?
Yeah, naririnig ko kayo.
D. Direction, okay, E. Average speed. So, average speed yung distance. Ito yung ayoko. So, okay. Average distance.
Wait. Average velocity yung pinapahanap, hindi average speed.
Yung E po?
Magkaibang bagay sila.
Hindi ba po yung E is average speed?
Hindi, iba yung ganito. Example na kung bakit importante yung average speed versus average velocity. So, share ko yung screen. It's average speed. Actually, kung ano, technically, A, B, C, D, technically hindi siya answerable eh. But, ay, sorry. Magagawa siya actually. So, paano yung, balik ka sa definition ng average speed.
So,
Ano ba yung Okay, total distance traveled over total time. So paano mo makukuha yung total distance?
By like doing the vector addition. No. By like actually adding the distance. I mean, you
Yes.
can. This is a polar. This is a polar, and then this is another polar, and then this is the distance, and then the time taken plus the rest for some reason, and then that's it. I mean,
So
it's really hard.
kailangan mo kunin yung distances ng bawat part ng path, add them all together, and then divide by the time.
No. Mhm.
Teka,
Ano ba?
alam mo na yung mga lengths eh. Yung first
Yeah,
displacement.
so 75 plus ano ba? Next 55 and then plus nothing over 90. Yes, 90
Teka,
hours.
ano yung total na hours?
Mm.
50 plus
30,
35 plus 5. Okay, so 90 nga.
1.5 kilometers per hour. Why is it so slow? Like dromedaries are very fast.
Kung halimbawa, yung tinravel mo ay ganito, average speed yan, di ba? Tapos may rest. Plus, you have a camel. And ano ba yung typical na speeds ng mga camels?
Okay. So maybe it's
when you have a caravan. Yung 1.5 kilometers per hour, 75 kilometers, 50 hours. Nainisip ko kung for real camels, kung reasonable ba siya eh.
Doesn't seem reasonable. Camels aren't really that slow. Ano ba? Next, RIP. So it's Thursday.
Hindi, ganito. Alam mo yung, di ba iba yung speeds at which, for example, if we run, gaano katagal yung, masusustain ba natin siya ng matagalan?
No. So it's conserving energy or something. Maybe it is because of the problem. It is apparently it's apparently very thirsty. And it's going to reach. So, ano ba?
At saka medyo weird yung 50, actually weird yung binigay na 50 hours na walk eh. Na dire-diretso siya. Di ba? 24 hours is a day.
2 days.
So 2 days na naglalakad yung camel, that doesn't seem reasonable.
So, something. Magnitude and direction sa average velocity. So, what is going to be that? 120 hours. So, I will just calculate average velocity with 120 hours. That's simple. Okay. Where? 63
more than
over 120 hours.
It must be at B, no more than 120 hours later for its next drink.
Okay,
Tapos
so,
ano yung distance from the last point to B?
Last point to B. It's not really necessary na po. I mean, it's only total displacement.
Hindi. Kasi ang average speed, after the rest period eh. So, ibig sabihin, ang interest lang natin ay yung everything that happens after resting.
After the rest period.
Means,
okay. So, the rest period. Calculate the difference between the AB vector and the previous vectors. Okay. What do you call this? R2, R3, maybe.
So delta R3 is equal to, so 60, ano yun? 90 kilometers due west
So like
of OB. So 90 kilometers east, di ba? Yung B.
since we already know for this sum of the vectors, instead of calculating the difference between one vector and two vectors, so maybe I'll just calculate the difference between one vector and another vector. Okay. So, itong vector ko, 90, I don't know, okay, I, minus, ano daw, delta R0 to 75.
Okay.
So, 7I plus, I don't think I should have used parentheses. Whatever this thing is up to, it must equal something, okay, so then, what? The direction of movement ko na. Okay, na can be calculated kasi.
So ano yung kaya simplify ng delta R3, ano yan? Mag-calculator ka. Bigay mo.
90 minus 75. Oh, I got the values. Okay. 90 minus okay, so funny, we have nice numbers. And then minus, wait, so minus, if it's minus, then so be
So 65 minus 75 sine 37.
Yes. So then this will be plus, yes, okay, it should be plus. 9. Why? The author decided to make the numbers 59.9, 19.9, 30.1, 19.9. Instead of just making
Ito, ilang sig yung given?
2. Okay, so I was wrong. But anyway, it's irritating because I was still used 3 significant figures, so I can achieve the two significant figure accuracy. Okay,
so sa dulo, round off. So meron tayong delta R2 na ganyan. And then, yung time it takes is
30 hours. Okay, so delta R3 magnitude of delta Zaza is equal to the square root of this.
so
Wait, my still using this page. I will just screenshot this. Do I have an extra page on this? So that's something. Equal something. Diba? 30.
so
0.8. And then over 120. Okay, so that is what's the question?
Divided by 30, no?
Okay, so the total distance, no, not the distance, the magnitude is, oh yeah, this is it. This is the, no.
Ganito, if it is reached, we're looking for the magnitude of
the average velocity. So if over time, which is 30 hours. Or something.
so 1.20 kilometers per hour.
So even slower. maybe because it's thirsty to death. It needs to get in time. So, what else? Direction. Oh no. Mhm. So,
Ano,
ano ba?
alam ko reason pero yung how many yung ganyang alam ko yung mga bull cart nagta-travel dati using bull carts from Ilocos to Metro Manila or to Manila. Weeks ang inaabot dati eh.
So even more camel that's slowly thirsting to death in the middle of the desert. Maybe even travels
So 36.1 divided by yung time. So 1.20 tapos
never mind. So it's not really necessary. Nambang,
ngayon anong kailangan natin dito? Yung direction, di ba?
yes. So 1i plus 2 13. And then the tangent of this. Well, the same like this. So
Teka,
tan negative.
parallel yan sa displacement, di ba? So,
So why
kahit
am I doing?
na yung displacement lang yung gamitin mo.
Yes, so it's exactly the same. So of course, since there's only one thing that's going on po. So of course, there's only one vector, so the direction will always be that vector.
Hmm.
Diba? Tangent 2 thirds. Why did I forget? 33 7. Diba? 32.
So 34 degrees tapos north of east.
No. North,
Okay.
diba? So north here. No. Wait a minute. Isn't the theta here? Or is the theta here? Okay, doesn't matter. So it can be anything.
Hindi, yung theta mo is actually kasi ginamit mo ay 'di ba 20 nasa yung components ng distance ulit, 'di ba? It's 20 along yung 20 yan along y, 'di ba?
So if this was here, then I don't know. If it was here, then this would be the angle.
Sketch the displacement vector. And then label mo yung sides. Ayan, so yan yung angle.
Okay. So yes, it's indeed sort of.
So yung figure mo dun sa kabila, hindi yun yung kailangan mong i-erase yung theta doon. Kasi yung sa F and G, yan. Kasi yung theta natin is measured from the x-axis, from the east, from the eastward direction. Ayun. So, okay na yan.
Then bye-bye. Okay. So wait.
991EX ko. Ayun. So this is 95, no?
I think it's kind of too convincing. It looks very glitched.
xy coordinate accelerated from rest. Tapos,
Acceleration is constant.
the xy coordinates of A are 4 and 6. And then this one is a 12 and 18.
Wait, what? So,
Accelerated
particle
from rest.
from where to where?
Okay. And then, binigay yung um,
I mean, where did the particle really started?
assume mo na na A.
Problem and problem. So, maybe. Kasi mukhang B nga eh. It will be the other way around. So, it's a big question. What's the ratio A and Y over of the acceleration component? Acceleration
Yes.
component of what? The particle. Okay. So,
Okay. Okay, sige. Mag-isip ako muna sandali. If you need to get paper, kasi ano yan eh. Gamitin mo yung kinematic, use the kinematic equations and the given. So what do we know?
particle, the acceleration is constant.
So y minus y sub 0 equals,
Go to the familiar.
and then x minus x sub 0 is equal to what?
Where did I put this one?
Ano yan eh? So 1/2 yeah. Sinulat mo na yung kinematic equations, yung constant acceleration along x and y. So may
Okay.
components ka. Dapat may yung v sub 0 may. Ngayon, it starts from rest. So what can we say about v sub 0?
I mean, okay, it's 0. That's range. This one is what?
So starting
Okay,
from
0.
rest,
0,
tapos may
0.
components ng acceleration, may x component, may y component.
So this one is B0. Okay. And then okay, B00.
Sige. Start ka from the differential equations.
So
Acceleration is equal, so dy or d squared x dt squared is equal to a sub x. Na constant. So if you integrate twice, what do you get?
Okay, so that's a fun way to remember.
Okay. And walang initial velocity. So, pero may initial position, which is A.
Okay.
So, plus x, tawagin mo na ng x0. Yung A.
So then x is equal to something. Where is it? X is equal to A plus, then this one is what's the original y? 6. Okay. A y plus Y. Y.
So a sub y at saka
And then
okay. So walang v
so,
sub 0 kasi or walang velocities kasi from rest. Okay, what else do we know? At t equals t sub b,
okay, so once another interval t sub 1. So at this t sub 1, delta t sub 1, then this happens. So,
so let t be equal to 0 sa a. So starts at a at t equals 0 para madali. Tapos at b, tawagin mong t sub b.
okay. So, okay, I see. So when it travels for another t sub 1 interval, this one will become 2. Okay. So,
Okay.
okay.
So b sub x minus a sub x equals, what can you get?
How do you find the thing? Okay, so ay over ax is equal
Okay,
to
teka. Ano ba yung mga known? Ano yung mga unknown?
unknown. Known is this one, 6, the coordinates. And then unknown,
Okay.
y
And
and
then
x.
if you look from your equations, that's going to be true for any time, di ba?
Opo.
If it's true for any time, how can you get the value of a sub y over a sub x?
By using the other one. Yes. So it's actually the slope. Make it true at that exact time where it happens to be in the point. So it's 12 over 8. Uh, 3 halves. And then D is when this one becomes 2. So now, wait.
Okay, so 3 halves
Uh,
or 1.5. So, gawaning A. Yung B naman,
so if this one becomes 2t1, 4, 4 times
teka,
this,
ganito. Pagdating sa B, ano yung velocity?
and new velocity. Hmm, sorry, from this, so the radius of velocity.
Okay, so what do we know?
Uh, what we don't know is the velocity. And that's it. So we just don't know the velocity. So the velocity, how will we find it? The derivative. Okay. So of course this will be y is equal to, oh wait, it's sine 2, or like equal to 2 times 1.
So, ganito, yung may delta T1, ano? So, what we're looking for is an expression in terms of delta T1.
Wait a minute. So you wanted to start from B. You don't need to have to start it from A. So it can start from B anyway. Why? Uh,
Teka, ganito. Yung delta T1 is a specific time kung kailan dumating siya sa B. So if you look at part A, yung equations mo, dapat B sub y equals a sub y plus ax over 2 delta t sub 1 square. And then b sub x equals a sub x plus a sub x delta t 1 square. Ano yan eh? Kaya yung ano, kung ganito, sige. Share ko yung screen ko para maging klaro yung notation. Yeah. So, ang ano, ganito. So, yung general equation, so true for any time t, tapos may assumption tayo na t equals 0 dito sa A, is x, sige, gawin ko lang na y mo una para mas mali yung division. So y equals, initial velocity is 0, initial position is A, so this is going to be a sub x plus 1/2 a sub x t square. X equals b sub x plus 1/2, a sub y plus 1/2 a sub y t square. So this is going to be true for all t. Kasi yan yung, if you can think of this as parametric equations for position with t as the parameter. Ngayon, yung from the given, at saka define yung delta t sub 1 as the time it takes to go from A to B. So, in terms of the variable delta t sub 1, ito ngayon yung magiging equation. A sub x, okay. T square, b sub y equals, sorry, nababaliktad ko. This is x, this is y, and then b sub x, b sub y is a sub x, a sub y plus 1/2 a sub y delta t1 square. Yan yung ano, this is how a sub x and b sub x are related. Ngayon, kung gusto nating malaman yung mangyayari na, ano yung position, at kasi ang tanong dito ay, what are the coordinates of the particle if the motion is continued for another interval equal to delta t sub 1? So, ano yung total time na lumipas? So, from 0, tapos sinabi na it traveled at delta t sub 1 during the time delta t sub 1. And then it travels again for another delta t sub 1. In that case, ano yung magiging time? So it should be 2 delta t sub 1 yung final position. So what is at x and y? So yan yung magiging question. Ngayon, it's since we've now stated clearly what we're looking for, how can we use what we know to get yung travel yung so, ano yan? To get yung final positions. Okay, hindi natin alam kung yung a sub x, hindi natin alam yung a sub y, pero we should, I think, may proportionality tayo na pwedeng magamit eh.
Dito
Or
pa
there
over
should be a way. So, ano ba yung ano yung final time in terms of of this variable? So, x equals a sub x plus 1/2 a sub x times twice delta t sub 1 square. So, what does this look like? So, x equals, so using this, can we find the value of x and y? Yeah. I-highlight ko yung mga known. So, yung mga known, yung a sub x, let's use a different color. Yellow. So, ano yung mga known? Yung mga known, b sub x, a sub x. Hindi natin alam yung a sub x, a sub y. Hindi natin alam yung delta t sub 1. Tapos, dito, known ito. A sub x is still unknown, pero ito, known. From here, from these two equations, can we get x and y?
by using elimination. So yung
Sige, try mo ngayon. So how can we get x from that? Okay. Meron akong gagawin na na simplification. So if I start from, hindi ko lang kung makakatulong sa ito, no? Pero i-ano ko lang. So from these two, I know that twice b sub x minus a sub x equals twice a sub x, b sub y minus a sub y is equal to ngayon, I have to shut up. So, pag-isipan mo muna.
I convert it again. I mean, I'm sure this is possible.
Okay, teka. I-simplify ko pa tong ano na to. Yung x ay a sub x plus 2 square is 4. So 4 over 2 is 2. So I'm going to get 2 a sub x delta t sub 1 square. B sub x plus 2 a sub y delta t sub 1 square.
Okay. So clearly subtracting them will give me a sub y. Okay. And then, but how will you get? Wait a minute. Okay, here. There's a formula to get the t from a, so one of the one of the accelerations. And then there's substitute that
Okay.
here.
So from here, what do I get? So twice b sub x minus a sub x is a sub x delta t sub 1 square. Tapos known, sorry. Let's use yellow again. So known,
Two variable problem.
Ina-highlight ko yung mga known ha.
I mean, empirically, you can get something that x is in relation to y. Maybe x equal to some formula of y.
Hindi, tingnan mo na maigi yung nakasulat sa screen. Kaya zoom out ko lang. Tapos screenshot ko na rin para kung gusto mong i-enlarge.
I mean, x, y is equal to something. Okay, sure. What are you going to do with the x, y, and x? I mean, you can relate them, but how are you going to use it?
Teka.
Sorry.
Highlight ko may mga known, no? Sorry, hindi ko pala na-highlight lahat ng known. So, ito, tapos, I think I should erase yung highlighting dito. Hindi sila known eh. Diba?
Hindi ka po sila known.
As of now, hindi pa sila known.
Okay, so Mako is x minus y. Cool. But then,
tapos, yung known, ito. Wala yung highlighter. Ayan. So, ang known, nahanap ko. Ayan. So, hindi natin alam yung, so known ito, hindi natin alam yung AX, hindi natin alam yung AY.
But we have the ratio. So, since we have the ratio, we can substitute one of them.
Tingnan mo yung yung previous na two equations.
Okay. So,
in particular, the equations I wrote in blue.
So, therefore, it's possible to know this. Okay, so everything is known actually.
Okay, so ano yung next step?
Wait, but by elimination, the best I could do is get x minus y or y minus x. But how do you get x and y?
Teka, do we have an expression for ax delta t sub 1 square?
Ax delta t sub 1 square. Wait, where is it? Delta t sub 1 square. Yes, it's x and y. So that's b and bx.
And then, tingnan mo yung na in terms of the known.
Yes. So there is already known. Okay, so you can just this one with the two delta t sub 1. That's just 4 times the
So,
one with only delta t sub 1 squared.
yeah.
So
So, pag sinubstitute natin, so ito. So, this equation 1, 2, I'm going to call this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, from 5 and 6, what can we pwede natin palitan yung, for example, from equation 5, so from 5 and 7, x at time twice delta t sub 1 square is a sub x plus 2 multiplied by 2 times b sub x minus a sub x, or a sub x minus 4 a sub x plus 4 b sub x, or 4bx minus 3 ax.
so once x is known, then y is also known.
Okay, so ito, alam natin yung coordinates ng position A at position B, di ba?
So it's equal to 4bx.
Kanina, ito 4 and 12.
4.
So this becomes 4 times 12 minus 3 times 4.
So of course 24. And then the other one is from a similar logic. A D
So
2 B5 x plus 4 x plus 4 by minus a y. It was
okay, kaya stop sharing na ako. Yeah.
It was
Teka, 48 minus 24. Tama ba yung 4 times 12 is 48. Kaya, check ko lang yung data. X is 12 and 4. So, 4 b sub x. So, 4 times 12 minus 3 times 4. That's going to be 36. Tapos, yung y is going to be, teka, di ba may similar na na relationship? So y equals b sub x plus 4. So we're going to get 4b. Bakit bx yan? by dapat yan. Yung sa y.
Typography error.
Tapos, net, ganito. Sorry. I think kaya nagkakaproblema. Kasi, ang sinabi, it travels a further delta t sub 1. Diba? So, Anyway, sige, tuloy lang natin to sa sa Sunday. Pero at least nakita mo na yung clue para maayos yan.
Sir, meron kayong time bukas?
Ano ba yung... check ko yung schedule ko. Meron ng ano yan eh. Pag yung hapon kasi, meron na siya. So, yung 4 hanggang, yung 4 to 7 and then 8 something hanggang 10.
After
Puno na
lunch.
yun
After lunch.
Kung 1 p.m.,
Opo.
sige, pwede ako ng 1 p.m. So we can do an
What?
hour.
Kasi po bali, habol lang po namin yung mga miss. Kasi sa Saturday until na next Sunday, wala po kami.
Sige. So, ang kaya ko for tomorrow, ang kaya ko na talaga for tomorrow is 1 hour. Kasi may naka-block na yung iba.
Apo.
And then, dun sa next, the week after, hanap tayo ng schedule. Kasi early afternoon, well, I have to wake up early. Yeah. Pero kung maghanap tayong schedule of the week after. So wala kayo bukas?
Sa Saturday ng madaling araw until na the following Sunday po.
Kaya,
bukas andito pa po kami.
Okay, sige. So check ko yung sa calendar. So out kayo from
ng 15 until the 23rd yata.
15 to 23rd. Okay. Sige. Mag 1 hour tayo bukas and then we'll find time the week after para mahabol natin yung mga meetings na miss.
Opo.
Okay. Sige. So we'll stop here and then we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay po.
Sige. So see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
Bye-bye po.